I'm Alicia Lee, and I'm the coordinator of Fine Arts for the Maryland State Department of Education. And I'm thrilled to see so many great faces from all across the state of Maryland and beyond that have come to join us today for today's workshop, Improve Your Improv, led by the great Joanna Chilcote Fellows. The Embrace series examines the intersections of art and wellness by exploring creative practices to keep us open, curious, and reflective during COVID-19. The series is presented in partnership with the Fine Arts Office of the Maryland State Department of Ed and Arts Education in Maryland Schools Alliance, also known as AIMS. Before I introduce our facilitator today, I want to briefly review some key features of Google Hangouts, just so that you'll know how to utilize them in our session today. I also want to remind you that today's session is an improv theater session, so camera setup is required. Faces and voices are needed in order to be collaborative in improv today. So we're asking for everyone to have their face and voice ready at the moment. Stay muted for now. All right, if you would like to mute, you'll just press the button on the left of center, the microphone on the left. To pause or resume video, you'll press the video icon on the right of center. Throughout the workshop, we encourage you to use the chat functions and also the Nod Chrome extensions if you were able to download them, to give thumbs up, well done, to give applause, and also to use the chat function, which is over to the right. And we have moderators today moderating the chat, so people will be in there and they will make sure that your voices are heard if you have a question or you need to raise your hand and communicate with the facilitator. If you need closed captions, they are down on the right. You can turn the captions on, and they'll even differentiate for you who is speaking throughout the meeting. At the end of the meeting, please check your email inbox right away. We just sent you a survey that helps us to continue these sessions. When we first started Embrace, we started with a plan for 2 weeks, and we thought, yeah, we'll do it for 2 weeks. And this is now week 4. We are scheduled through week 8. So these sessions have become very important for a lot of teachers and arts educators and teaching artists in terms of connecting and building practice together. If you're looking for resources, please visit our website. It is chock full of resources. Every week we put out a weekly roundup of all of the online professional learning opportunities that are available for arts educators, so music, theater, dance, visual art, media arts. And that is for international space. So anything, look, I'll even say in the whole Milky Way. These are all of the professional learning experiences that are available to you. So each week, come to our website, download that document and use it as a guide to help plan your week and keep learning happening. If you're looking for resources for curriculum or for tools, best practices, and platforms, we also have extensive hundreds and hundreds of resources there for you, divided by discipline as well. All right, now I'm going to introduce our facilitator. I'm so excited. Joanna and I went to the same high school, and so it's so fun to see people. We did not go at the same time, but we both are big lovers of the Wildcats down in Towson. So Joanna Chilcote Fellows currently serves as the president of the Maryland Theater Association. Joanna began her theater career at age 9 and has been active in the art ever since. She earned her BA in theater performance at the University of Maryland, College Park, and her Master's of Arts in Teaching, Secondary Theater at UMBC. Currently, Joanna teaches theater, film, and video production at Seneca Valley High in Montgomery County, where she also runs the extracurricular theater program. She is a member of the Montgomery County Public Schools Theater Curricular Writing, Festival Planning, and Distance Learning Design teams. Joanna is a professional development facilitator for the International Baccalaureate Mid-Atlantic Organization and teaches instructional methods for secondary theater at UMBC. All right, let's give a silent cheer for Joanna Chilcote. Thank you so much. Joanna, you're muted.
I am. I'm so good at this digital platforming, you guys. Hello, I'm Joanna Chilcote Fellows. I'm with Maryland Theater Education Association. I'd like to take a moment. We actually have some co-facilitators today. Sarah Foreman, who is our VP of Communications, and Steve Barker, who is our treasurer. I see that we also have Deborah Kramer, our VP of Development, on the call. Yeah. So we're really excited. Our organization is moving. We are going places, and we are so grateful to have this opportunity to connect with so many fabulous educators from around the state. So if you are interested, we have this great little screenshot of our newsletter. If you're interested in finding out more about our organization, you can always email us, mteainc@gmail.com, or visit our website. Maryland Theater Education Association, just a quick pitch before we get into the nitty gritty. We serve to connect, support, and empower educators across the state of Maryland. We also work to integrate teaching artists into the classroom. We're an advocacy organization, but our primary function at the moment is to provide professional development opportunities that activate the artist within the teacher. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you. So like I said, in our quest to connect, support, and empower, in the front page of our newsletter there, you will see some photos from our annual conference, which is called Thrive. It is held at the University of Maryland College Park in February. And it's a full day of professional development for theater educators, hands-on stage combat, devising, puppetry, just about everything under the sun. And we also have a flyer here for our virtual happy hours. So every other Wednesday, come and crush a cup of wine with us. Drink with me. Today is gone by. I will drink to that. Our next happy hour will be on May 27th, and we will be having theater trivia game. So pop on in. Go ahead to the next slide. So improve your improv, which is what we're doing today. Although my husband told me this morning that we should have called it home improvements, which I'm a little mad I didn't think of that. So our best practices for today, please do keep your microphones on mute until you are called upon to participate in a game. 2 basic rules of improv: yes, yes, and. You're going to want to, when you're facilitating this within your digital classroom, you're going to want to pick your stronger students to go first, just to kind of demonstrate what the games are to look like, so that we don't scare off some of our maybe more timid or less experienced students. That way your stronger kids can be a model for your improv strategies. To keep things flowing, you may instruct students to pass on the role or the role of leader. And make sure when you're playing a game where one participant isn't supposed to hear what other people are saying, you're going to want to ask them to turn their computer volume all the way down, and then you can create some sort of crazy gesture that everybody does together to invite that person to come back into the game. So today, we are going to play a couple of games in rapid fire fashion. We're going to start with a mirror, then we're going to move into 3 changes: good, bad, ugly, speed friending, alphabet story / speech / conversation, press conference, and then we're going to close out with an easy peasy game called This Is My Favorite. So without further ado, I'd like to bring Sarah Foreman up to the digital stage to begin our first game.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So if everybody is able to put your view into grid mode, or I see if you click the 3 dots at the bottom right, you can change the layout and put everybody on the screen. So when I do improv with my students, I really like to start with kind of a very low pressure game that involves the basic principles still. And this game is fantastic to open up your improv session with, because if anybody's late, they can just jump into the game. More than likely they've played it before. And then if not, more than likely they can jump right in and figure it out. So just a reminder, mirror involves a leader. So I will start as the leader, and you are going to be my mirror. So we need to make sure that everybody, to accommodate this game and change it from, I guess, the stage to the digital page, let's make sure we're all sitting in headshot kind of style. So you can see your head and shoulders. You really want to make sure that your students, keep in mind the space that they're in might be limiting. So we can see head and shoulders. All right. And so you're going to pick a leader and you're going to make sure to instruct your leader to pass on when they're done. Take about 20 seconds to pick another name to pass this on to. And one last thing, the leaders are going to move very slowly. And when you're ready to pass it on, try to pass it on mid-movement. Don't just put your hands down and go, okay, Deb, you're next. So we're going to try and make this look like a fluid dance. All right. So if everybody's ready, can you go ahead and follow me? Steve, will you take over?
Joanna.
Christine S.
Deborah K.
And we'll do one more after Deborah.
You're muted.
I can't get Ashley. It's frozen. Let me go to Christine. Oops. Everybody's Elsa.
This will be our last round.
Do you mean Elisa?
Elisa. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Elisa. Okay. Thank you.
Hi.
I can't see myself.
Oh, so this is a bonus then.
All right. Thank you. Everybody kind of give your own little special round of applause, however you want to celebrate that. So just a couple notes before I pass it off to Steve. So again, the muted microphone can kind of run into some sticky situations. So I guess for this game, you would want to tell your participants to unmute their microphone before you actually played this. And this would probably be the one game where you would tell everybody to do that because they really need their hands free. And we're going to add that in the notes. Didn't even think about that. So anyway, we're going to move on to a game called Three Changes. Steve, tell us all about it.
Sure. Happy Friday, everyone. The facilitator is going to choose 3 participants from our audience to study. And the audience should take note of their outfit, the accessories, their hair, the overall way they appear. And then those 3 subjects are going to turn off their cameras, and so the audience can't see their screens. And then those participants have 30 seconds to change things about their appearance. And there are degrees: subtles, such as tucking hair behind the head or zipping up a sweatshirt or higher, or big changes, right? Putting a pencil in the ear or putting a hat on. You really want to push for the subtles. At the same time, some of us have very clean desks that I'm sure you all could touch every surface. Right now, I don't think I have a square inch left. So it might be encouraging for this game to tell them ahead of time, grab a few things that you could do this game with, so that if they wanted some things to change with, they're available. Okay. And then after you've got all that, finally turn their screens back on and have folks look at the appearance of somebody and say, okay, here's what you've changed. Okay. So I'm going, for the people, I'm going to go ahead and pick. I am going to pick Adana Johnson. Adana, is that yes? Oh, this is my Kermit yes. I just do this, and Kermit no. So if you hear me do Kermit yes.
I do hear you.
If you hear me do, no, this is everyone. If you hear me do Kermit yes. If you don't hear me do Kermit no, see, you wouldn't get that. But anyway, if you're really confused, Kermit's going crazy. All right. So Adana, I'm going to ask you to do that. And let's see who else is on here. The tiled layout works well, but it doesn't show everyone correct. Gary McCorkle. Yep, that. Yay! And Julianne, I'm going to have you do it as well. So I am going to put 30 seconds on the clock. Here is my little rattle, by the way, noisemaker. So I'm going to rattle, and then you turn off your screens. And well, actually, let's look at their appearances first. So everybody study these people very carefully. Look at the screen. Let's look at Gary first. Look at the fine details crafted by the divine powers right there. And then take a moment to look at Adana.
Can I just make one correction? It's Sharon. My husband is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sharon.
No. It comes up.
Okay, so Sharon.
I apologize.
See, there's something she could subtly change, and we would never know. And Adana, take a moment to again look at what God wrought. And lastly, Julian, don't stare too long. It might hurt. Sorry, I know. Yeah, we could. Hey, okay. And when the rattle goes, 30 seconds to change your things subtly or not subtly. Go. Turn off.
So while they are making their adjustments, just a quick note. I played this game doing 1 by 1 with my special ed drama class the other day, and they absolutely loved it. I modeled it, and then I had my para-educator model it, and then we invited some of our students to participate. Adaptation, one student, I just asked them to change one thing, because 3 things was a lot for them to process. But my special ed theater kids absolutely loved this. They requested it in our following meeting. But even my IB theater kids enjoyed this game. So this is something that you can really do from, all levels. And it's kind of a low investment game. So it's a good way to kind of kick things off and get a session started. That was more than 30 seconds.
It is. This is called the 3 changes, Chris. Now, one of the other things I'll point out as we're ready to bring folks back in, that because when we mute, it reshuffles on us, we are going to need those 3 folks to come back in unmuted and say, hello, here I am.
Hello, here I am.
Hello, here I am.
Hello, here I am.
Fantastic. And now we are going to look at these lovely people, and we are going to figure out what has changed. We'll start with Julian. Captain Obvious. And what I would encourage is, instead of having students all verbally chime in, have them put it in the chat. So Chris Hanks has pointed out that he has turned his hat around.
That's one. That's two.
He has the book now. Okay, Chris, be fair. Let everyone. He shifted his camera view.
You got my 3. That's it.
Nice.
Yep. Another thing to point out about this game is that you also, the concept of fair round and free round. Fair round is everyone gets one answer. Free round is free for all. So you might say everyone gets one, and that way everyone feels they have a chance. Okay, so let us look now at Adana. Adana's hair. This is where I would tell my actors, be more specific. What is the difference in the hair? Added glasses, and she had a necklace. Did they get them all right?
Yes, they did get them all right.
Awesome. Okay. MSD taking the lead. Okay. And last but not least, it was Shannon, right? Sharon? Shannon.
Sharon.
Sharon. All right, let's look upon Sharon.
Did you add lipstick?
No, ma'am.
She's subtle. She's the crafty one of the group, we can tell. Did you change the lighting?
Nope.
Did you add a nose ring?
No. Yes. Switch part of the hair.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a switch part of the hair.
Yes.
Are the glasses higher on your face? Sorry, I should
No.
take that. No.
No.
Earrings?
Yes, I took one off.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Tricky.
That was it. I just did too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So again, some of the facilitation things again, especially depending on your platform, juggling people around. We all know Zoom will let us see everybody, but in a Google or WebEx or any of the others, you know, just make sure you tell the students up front, we're going to have to adapt and adopt for given the platform we're in. So that's it. Now, here's a good moment to also talk about lighting. I'm a lighting designer, so by trade, so that also helps, is reminding students to try to have at least one source of light that is so here I am in the camera, like to the left or to the right of the camera, and lighting the face enough to be seen, and that they're sitting about, I would say, 2-3 feet back from their camera. That's really the best optimum view to make sort of what I'll call the Vogue box. Right there, right? Go, Sarah. So with that being said, I believe I'm passing this good, bad, and ugly on to Joanna.
Hello. All right. Our next game is called The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So we are going to need, for our first round, I'm going to need 3 volunteers. So if you want to go ahead and scramble for it in the chat, just say me. And the first 3 people in the chat that's saying me are going to be our players. Don't all type at once. Yay, Luke. Rebecca and Lauren. Okay, so you guys go ahead and unmute yourself. We will play more than one round, so don't worry if you didn't get a chance this round. Okay, so I'm going to model the kind of question that we're going to ask. So what we're going to do is I am going to ask a question. Luke, you are going to give me some good advice for how to respond to my problem. Rebecca, you're going to give me some bad advice for how to respond to the problem. And Lauren, your advice will be straight up ugly. Something to caution our students, and I guess you guys, because y'all are wild, about is, for some reason, my students seem to think that the best ugly advice is light it on fire. or hide the body. So let's try not to light anything on fire in this moment, please. Please also remember, this is a little bit tricky for the person who's playing bad, because your advice has to be bad, but it can't go to the extreme, because you have to leave some room for that ugly advice. So I'm going to start. I'm going to ask our panel of experts. I am having a problem with my sister. She is just not responding to my texts at all, and it's really frustrating, and I don't know what to do about it. So I could really use some advice. So Luke, do you have any good advice for me?
Yeah, you should write her a letter and have a heart-to-heart about it.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, Rebecca?
You should just keep text messaging her as loud as you can to annoy her till she responds.
I like the idea of loud text messages, and I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah. Lauren, what would you do?
I would drive to her house and, of course, stay outside, but I would start with pebbles, throwing them at the window, and then I would move on to rotten eggs, and I think that that would really get a response from her.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Now, one of the ways that you can do this in your classroom or your virtual classroom, sometimes we'll rotate through. So then Luke would graduate to bad advice, Rebecca would graduate to ugly, and we would rotate somebody else in with the good advice. Or you can keep the same panel and ask them a few more questions. But just for the purpose of today and making sure that we give as many chances as possible, could we have 3 more experts and someone with a problem, please? So the next 4 people to type me. All right, Cindy, you'll be good. Val, you'll be bad. SHMS, ugly. And who's got a problem?
I'll do it, Deborah.
All right, excellent. Deborah, what was your problem?
I keep getting interruptions while I'm in class, and I'm the one blamed for it all the time. And it's not me. I'm not throwing crayons. Somebody else is, but I'm getting blamed.
I hate that. Cindy, what should Deb do?
I think that Deb should say, talk to the teacher either at that moment or after class and say, you know, you think that it's me doing that, but really it's someone else at a different table. And I just don't want you to think that I'm the student trying to mess your class up, because I'm really here to learn. And so just tell the teacher that.
Thank you.
Val, do you have some bad advice? You're muted, Val. Val, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, what I would do is to immediately go and report them to the principal and say that she's just a horrible teacher.
Excellent. And SHMS choir? Interesting.
My name is, yeah, I don't know why my parents chose that. No, I didn't mean to use this account. I don't know why. My name is Dana. And if you don't remember that, just use SHMS. That's fine. If I were you, I would fight fire with fire. And if they think they can get away with throwing crayons at you, I would throw crayons back at them when the teacher's not looking.
Excellent. Awesome. So again, pretty simple game. Great for kind of teaching dramatic levels and that quick response. And you can get as intense as you like, or you can keep it lighthearted and keep moving it through your students as best suits you and your class. All right, Sarah, go ahead and tell us all about speed friending.
All right, guys. So speed friending, this is the classic improv game dating show, but we're going to take out all the romance and all the potential awkwardness. So we're calling it speed friending. So the facilitator is going to choose a participant to play someone looking for their sidekick. So can I real quick get someone who's looking for their best friend? You need someone to get you through this quarantine. You know what, Steve, thank you so much for volunteering. I really appreciate it. Unless someone else typed in the, all right, perfect. So Steve, you're going to be looking for a sidekick. So here's the twist. Each of these 3 sidekicks competing for your friendship, they have a quirk that kind of just makes them a little undesirable. So one way I suggest you can do this with your audience is, as we did, we could get suggestions from the audience in the chat, but I did come up with some fun characters. So Steve, I'm going to ask that you take off your headphones so you can't hear us, and make sure that the chat is not in there, because I am also going to be putting the characters in the chat. Okay. So could I have 3 volunteers who would like to become Steve's friend or compete to become Steve's friend? Go ahead and put me, and I'm just going to write your name and your character. So, all right, Christine, there is your character. All right. Thank you so much. You're such a good sport. Okay. And who else? I need 2 more volunteers. All right, Luke, here you go. All right, so there's your character. And then I finally need 1 more person. Oh, okay. All right, well, he could see the chat, and I guess he missed my, sorry, you missed my instructions to put the chat away. All right, we'll put it away, and you won't be able to guess the last one. That'll make it fun, so it's fine. All right. And then I need 1 more person to volunteer to be our 3rd. All right. Okay. Thank you. And here is the final one. Ooh. Okay. All right. Good luck with that. You seem the opposite. All right. Okay, so come back in. Oh, you're in. All right, here we go. All right, so you could always make this really fun and have some kid do a theme show, but why don't we just have everybody do a quick 3-second, their own theme show, and then we're going to come on in. Looking for a friend. All right, Steve. So here you are. We have 3 people who are just dying to be your friend. So Steve, I know you have come up with, and I forgot to tell you this, but you were supposed to come up with 3 questions you want to ask your friends. Whoops. So you're going to ask 1 question to each of these people, and we're going to get their answer. See how you like them. And then at the end, we'll see who you want to be your friend. So Steve, take it away. What's your first question?
You're muted.
That was fun. First question is, what would you bring me for a dessert on a really bad day where you knew you were the only person to that could handle the emotional stress? How well do you know me? What's my comfort food?
Contestant number 1. We'll just go in order.
Oh my gosh, Steve, I know you, and I know that you love what I really take the time. I really take.
You know, if you need to go take your Claritin for those allergies, that would be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But
all right. Contestant number 2. Wow.
Did I get that? Oh, okay. Dang it.
Hi, Steve. I just got to say I'm a big fan, and I followed you throughout your entire career. And through studying countless hours of your work, I know your preferences. I know what you like. The M&M bowl with just blue M&Ms is the perfect dessert for you, served up in a nice small shot glass, the size of your preference. Whatever you like, I'm there for you. I just want to make you proud.
Awesome. Maintain that 50-foot restraining order, stalker.
And contestant number 3.
Well, Steve, you asked what your favorite comfort food was, and I guess it would be the potlucks that we do on Fridays. Lucy usually brings the macaroni. Bob usually brings the corn on the cob. I tend to pick up a bag salad. Just bring plates. So if you could also pick up on your way over when we're finished with this, if you could pick up the copies on the copy machine, bring them to my desk for signature, I'd appreciate that.
All right, Steve, I don't know if you know who you want to be your friend yet. Do you have one more question for each of them?
Yeah, only because I really want to have fun with this now. If you're my best friend, where are you going to help me bury the body? What's your best suggestion of where the body goes?
Excellent question. Contestant number 1.
Sorry, Joanna, is that against the dead body rules? Was that dead body rules?
We're teachers. We get to break the rules. It's our only time.
We didn't specify the dead body rule in this particular
Okay,
thing.
good.
So for the dead body, I would say that you need to put it somewhere no one's going to notice it. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Maybe near a bridge or something. I don't. I don't know.
Okay, you're the worst quarantine vector of all time. What are you, patient zero?
Oh, just about. Contestant number 2.
Oh, am I on? Oh, Steve, that's a great question. And the best way to answer it is by a song. I want to bury the body with you. We can hide it in the walls of your home.
No.
No one will ever have a clue. I just want to bury the body with you.
Okay, so that's not going to be 100-foot restraining order, you crazy stalker, ex-boyfriend, whatever.
Don't forget to vote.
All right, Steve, do you know who you want to be your best friend?
Oh, no, I want to hear contestant 3's answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, for remembering me. Well, I think that's a good question. If you murdered someone and we needed to bury the body, I would just hope that it doesn't cut into your vacation time. I've been noticing you've been taking a lot of days off. I've been meaning to talk to you about it. I just, if you could, do you have a pencil there? Could you draft a memo? September, what's today? May 15th.
Lisa, I am completely honored to apparently be your office assistant. And but I thoroughly believe that it would be more enjoyable than what you're putting out right now. I know the MSD office is much more rocking than that. And God help me if I had to go to that picnic on a Friday. I would okay.
Thanks, Steve. Yay!
Oh my goodness, sorry for almost forgetting about you, but wow. So Steve, do you kind of essentially know who you kind of got that last one? You have one of the characters.
Oh, like I said, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go with what I said. Like Christine is patient vector 0, like infecting all of us. And by the way, coughing on everything, no slime on my friggin' water bottles.
That's Christine's thing. That's her quirk. She snots just on everything but its tissue.
There you go. Yeah, just Luke, you traumatized me because you brought back a whole lot of bad memories. No, a stalker, someone who's like, or my biggest fan, really. It's just crazy, scary. Am I close?
That's pretty close.
Pretty close. He thinks he was auditioning, like for The Voice or American Idol.
Oh my God.
And he insisted on having his audition. Oh.
That traumatizes me from a whole lot of other ways for the students. Okay. Can I audition? I know it's 3 days late. Can I audition today? No. And Alicia, oh my God, girl. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be the office I never want to work in. That is officially the office I never want to work in. But
Yep,
apparently
she's your boss.
I almost thought like you were going to
your monotone boss.
I thought you were going to Meryl Streep me from Devil Wears Prada for a moment. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, participants. That was amazing. Everybody did a fabulous job. So I'm going to now pass it off to, I'm not quite sure, but I know we're going to be playing Alphabet Story.
Yes, and we are going to do a little modification to Alphabet Story. Kermit, yes, if you know Alphabet Story and you have played Alphabet Story, excellent. So I see a lot of Kermits, which is great because it's also my dog's name. So for those of you who have not played Alphabet Story, the way it traditionally works, you have your students in a circle. You start to tell a story. The first sentence has to start with A, and one student says that, and then the next student begins a sentence with B, and et cetera, all the way through the alphabet. By the way, I find it really helpful to write the alphabet up on the whiteboard because you would be surprised how many high school students struggle with the concept of the alphabet. So Alphabet Story, still something you can definitely do over Zoom. But today we're going to take a little twist on it, and we are going to do a 4-person alphabet rant. So I would like 4 people in the chat to go ahead and enter me. And then, yes, so we get 4 people in the chat.
Joanna, while they're doing that, playing this with my kids in the last couple of weeks, we've also found that if you have a big group and you don't have an order, after they do their line, they should call someone out so then they know who the next person is. And that works really well too. We were piloting some of these games in the last couple of weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, it's helpful to have people call people out. What we're going to do once we have some volunteers, is everybody scared? Did we scare people? There we go. Yay. I'll pop in there too, just for funsies. Great. Okay, so we're going to go in this order. So what I'm going to do, since we're going to have a small group here, and it works with a bigger group too, is I'm going to go ahead and put the order of people into the chat so that we can remember who is going when. So I would like let me see, I'm going to have a few people put into the chat what annoys you. Tell me something that annoys you. That's not my thing that annoys me. That's the order of people. Loud talkers. Ooh, loud chewers. Oh, those are both really good. Let's go with loud talkers. So we are going to collectively rant about loud talkers. Sorry, I am guilty. All right, and Alicia, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start with the letter A. So let's have the 4 participants go ahead and unmute so that you are ready to rock.
Awesome. So do I say a sentence and then the next person goes, or do I keep going through the alphabet?
So you will say one sentence that starts with the letter A, and then Adana, you'll say a sentence that starts with the letter B. I'll say a sentence starting with C, and Sarah will say a sentence starting with D.
All right. Am I right? Loud talkers are the absolute worst.
But they do make some points at times.
Chatting at full volume is just rude and unnecessary.
Didn't you all hear Chelsea on that Zoom chat? She almost busted my new AirPods.
Exactly. I mean, they have no respect for technology. They have no respect for livelihoods. Those are expensive equipment pieces that you had there. It's terrible.
Finishing sentences, it's like they don't even hear themselves talk.
Good gracious. It's like, get your hearing checked already.
It's like, hello. I can't hear anything anymore. Hello? Like, hello, literally, hello.
I am not exaggerating here when I tell you that if I hear another loud talker, I'm going to lose it. I'm just going to lose it.
Just because you have a voice doesn't mean you have to raise it.
Killing me.
Look, I have an idea. What if we find their vocal cords? I mean, like their digital vocal cords and shut them off. There's got to be some kind of bug in there.
Oh, my goodness. That is the best idea I've ever heard. We can silence them forever.
Never in my life has anybody come up with that type of idea.
Oh my gosh, you're a genius.
Perhaps we'd need someone to create this technology, though.
Question. What if we put an ad on Craigslist for a developer?
Right? Like, maybe they'll get to it sooner than we could.
Somebody has got to have this technology.
Totally.
Understand, you and me. We will eradicate these people from the earth.
Victory will be ours.
Why can't people just be respectful of other people's noise boundaries?
Xylophones. They sound like xylophones.
Yes, that's what it was. Xylophones.
I got nothing. I'm sorry. We made it to the end, and then I just
Zippity doo dah.
He was.
Great job.
Much respect. There we go. Awesome. Very, very nice. So couple modifications for your players of different comfort and expertise. Doing it this way enabled the people who are playing to kind of plan ahead, because you can count and figure out which letter you're going to have. Obviously, if you have, oh, look at you with your alphabet on your app.
I need my accommodations here.
Yes. Obviously, if you want to go hard mode, you can have people call on other people randomly so that they have to come up with something right there on the spot. You can do this as a rant. You can do this as a like a stump speech. Or one time we played it as a graduation speech, which was excellent. You can have them tell a story. You can have people have a conversation, which is kind of what our rant turned into, which I'm not mad about it because it was fun. Whoop, whoop. All right, moving on. And we are going to have to speed here because we are a little out of time. But Sarah, go ahead and let's do a press conference.
Sure. So we're going to play a quick round of press conference. So essentially, I would go over what a press conference is with my students and talk about how it goes just beyond, like, you know, the government things that we're watching right now. So anyway, this involves everybody, but I do need one person who is going to be conducting the press conference. But here's the twist. You don't know what this press conference is about. It's about you, but you don't know. So we're going to decide. And how are you going to figure it out? Everybody's going to play a reporter, and through our questioning and the clues we give, hopefully they will figure it out in real time. So to get this going quickly, I need people to give me some ideas in the chat. Can you name a sport that is definitely not an Olympic sport right now and probably never will be? Okay, I love eyebrow shaping, so we're going with it. Excellent. Okay, and so, but you know what? I totally realized I picked the topic, and the person already knows the topic. Crap! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So what I should have done was have someone. I got so excited about this game. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this again, Joanna. I'm gonna have you turn off your sound. Just turn it down. Turn it down. We're going to pick another one. Can you guys submit like a couple more and the chat away? Chat away. Okay, good. All right. So she's going to, all right. So she, underwater basket weaving. Let's do it. It's the classic go-to. So she is called to a press conference because she just won the Olympic gold medal in underwater basket weaving. All right. So we are reporters. We're here to ask her about this momentous occasion and how she got there. All right, here we go. So let's wave her in. somehow. I don't know if she can see us. Hopefully she can. All right, we have picked it. So thank you, Joanna, for joining us. This momentous occasion, I'm sure, has brought you a lot of joy, and we want to know all about it. So go ahead, just let's get started. Reporters, what do you have to ask Joanna? And so in this case, you'll just go ahead, unmute yourself and say, maybe put a little reporter finger up. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Yes, Luke.
Luke Malewski from the West Towson Times. Would you please, Joanna, elaborate on what was the key to your success this time?
Well, usually I would say that the key to my success is getting a full night's sleep, making sure that you're having, you know, a well-rounded breakfast. I like to start every morning with 6 poached eggs and 2 chocolate bars. I really feel that it helps to create the energy and stamina needed to really effectively play the game, win the game.
Excellent, excellent. We have another question from Christine. Yes.
Hi, I've got to say what we're all thinking. After the event, what do you put inside?
Pudding. Pudding. I prefer chocolate pudding, but this time it was tapioca.
Interesting. Okay. Yes. And we have a few more questions for you. Yes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Choir, I believe it is.
Yes, Mr. Choir.
That's a Dr. Choir to you, man. I wanted to know, we were all wondering, what's your opinion on eating too much beforehand?
Well, it's a controversial topic, really. Like I said, my 6 eggs and 2 chocolate bars are really the key to my success. It does allow you to kind of inflate the size of your stomach. It is critical that you burp quite a bit before the event so that you can actually, you know, release some of that gastrointestinal room. The more gas you can expel without getting too vulgar, the more gas you can expel, the better you're going to do. So some people, however, they prefer to go into the event starving. I have teammates who won't eat for several days before an event. It's really to each his own.
30 minutes.
Yes. Specifically, how does pruning affect your ability to finish the weaving of the product?
Well, if you prune too much away, it really doesn't have too much to weave with. But if you don't prune enough, you're going to end up with some fuzzy bits, and those they're just not structurally sound. It becomes really unsafe.
Ma'am, I hear Longerburger wanted to use your final, the final product. Have you talked to them? I hear that several companies were fighting over this.
I'm not a big fan of Longerburger's stance on gay marriage. I think that they have been very closed-minded. You might even say that their CEO is a basket case. Not that I would ever say such a thing, but I don't wish to work with Longerburger. I'm actually in talks with Bed Bath & Beyond to create a line of pudding baskets for them.
Excellent, excellent. And so we could go on and on, but do you think you know why you are here? Clearly, we kind of gave you that Olympic sport hint.
I'm just an excellent, I'm going to say, underwater basket weaver.
Yeah.
Based on the eating 30 minutes before, which we almost didn't hear from Dr. Choir, but
yay. So sorry about that, Dr. Choir. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, participants. We have one final game to wrap things up.
All right. This is our last game. It's easy peasy. I will model, and then we'll have one more person give it a shot. So please do open your chat if your chat is not open. So this game is called This Is My Favorite. What you're going to do, traditionally, I would have either my whole class participate, or I would just select 3 or 4 students. But again, in the interest of time, I'll just model it and give a couple of people opportunity to kind of pitch in there. So what you're going to do, you're going to instruct your students to look around and grab an object that is within reach. I am going to be using this binder clip, and I will begin by saying, this is my favorite, and I will tell you it is something that it is not, and then I will model how it is that something. So this is my favorite hair clip. And then, you know what? Let's not do it in the chat. Go ahead and unmute. If you wish to tell me what this is your favorite of.
That's my favorite nose hair clipper.
This is my favorite juice box.
All right, we'll get there. So nose hair clipper. So now I have to use the object as it is defined. My favorite juice box.
That's my favorite cheese slicer.
My favorite cheese slicer. That is. I don't know why I'm doing it to my hand. It's not a hand slicer. All right, one more.
Favorite pimple squeezer?
Ooh. Ow. That would hurt a lot. So yes, again, really simple, kind of low investment game. With my special ed class, I just had each student grab an object, and we just gave them, I gave them 2 different things, and they had to pantomime the things. My IB theater class, it's rather small, but what I did was I had them go around twice. So each student gave, this is my favorite, and we went around the room twice. And the second time, they had to get more abstract with it. So again, it's the kind of game where you can kind of structure it and model it to best suit the needs and interests of your kiddos. So that was our speed through of
amazing. Wow.
Games.
We went through so many games in that short amount of time. Joanna, Sarah, Stephen, Julian, Deborah. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. I wanna make sure we honor everyone's time. So we have this 2 minutes, and we want to be sure we have a tradition of giving everyone a round of applause at the end. In a moment, but not yet, I'm going to ask everyone to unmute, and we'll be able to, for the first time today, clap audibly for our presenters. Joanna has crafted a beautiful workshop that really shows off the expertise of so many MTEA members. And so we are so grateful for that. I also want to plug that next Wednesday, we have another theater workshop. We have Stephanie Ybarra, the artistic director of Baltimore Center Stage, will be leading us in a play at home workshop. So we ask, please join us for that. We want to keep this theater community united as much as possible. I also want to thank MTEA, period, for their leadership and vision. They've shown so much vision in bringing the theater community together and really making so many strides towards strengthening theater education in the state of Maryland. Joanna, will we be able to find you afterwards? We know that there's an email coming. Could you prepare people for what might be in that email?
So in our email, we are going to provide you with the list of games and the basic instructions for how to play each game. You'll also find our contact information, a link to our website, and some information, our newsletter, and some information about our membership packages and opportunities to become involved in our organization, in advocacy, and in just generally creating a community for our theater educators. You saw a question here about PD credits. Yes, our membership, if you participate in our 3 major events, you are eligible to receive 1 CPD credit, which is a good start. And we would love to hear your voice on suggestions as to how we can expand that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the theater associations, they need diversity of voices and experiences and regions. We need everybody, you know, to uplift theater education together. All right, guys. Joanna, I cannot thank you enough. This was so fun. A great way to kick off a Friday. Thank you, Sarah and Julian as well, and Steve and Deborah. Let's all unmute and give our facilitators a round of applause. Thank you so much. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you.